Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. I am your trusted source for hard-hitting conservative news. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots, and defenders of liberty, welcome back to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. As the echoes of fireworks fade and the smoke clears from our Independence Day celebrations, let us reflect on the enduring spirit that binds us together as Americans. Yesterday, we honored the birth of our great nation, the audacious experiment that defied tyranny, embraced freedom, and set forth a vision of self-governance. But today, my friends, we stand at a crossroads, a moment when our convictions must not waver and our resolve must remain unyielding. The battles we face are not fought on distant shores, but within our own communities, institutions, and hearts. The forces of division seek to tear us apart, whispering that our shared heritage is a burden rather than a blessing. They peddle narratives that undermine our values, mock our traditions, and dismiss our faith. But we know better. We know that our Constitution isn't an outdated relic, it's a timeless blueprint for liberty. We know that free markets empower individuals, not bureaucrats. And we know that the strength of our nation lies in the courage of ordinary citizens who rise up against adversity, who build business, who raise families, who defend our way of life. So, my fellow conservatives, let us reclaim the narrative. Let us speak boldly about the sanctity of life, the importance of strong families, and the unapologetic pursuit of the American dream. Let us champion free speech, even when it challenges the prevailing winds of political correctness. That is honor to our veterans, our law enforcement officers, and all those who sacrifice for our safety. As we move forward, let us remember that our independence isn't a relic of the past. It's a living flame that burns within us. It's the belief that every individual has the right to charter their own course, to speak their mind, and to worship freely. It's the understanding that our shared history, Swartz and all, shape our destiny. So, my friends, let's rise like the phoenix from the ashes of division. Let us be the guardians of truth, the stewards of liberty, and the champions of a conservative vision that transcends party lines. And as we face the challenges ahead, let us echo the words of President Thomas J. Whitmore from that fateful Independence Day movie. We will not go silently into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. The words have real meaning with what's going on in this country today. So let these words sink in. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I hope you guys had a great 4th of July holiday. Didn't party too much, I hope. I didn't get to, but I'm glad you're here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this packed-filled show I've got planned for you today. So with all that, let's get this party started. Hi, everyone. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to set up a little bit tonight and see what's going on here. Take me a couple seconds to get in here. And it's so hard to get everything set up, and when I have to set up after I'm already live, so that kind of sucks. But I tell you what, I've definitely have a packed-filled show for tonight. So I hope you guys are ready for a lot of stuff going on. because I had some new stuff come up here right off the bat that I didn't get planned. One of my guys in Wimpkin just said that they're getting reports that Biden is having a medical emergency on Air Force One. Keep an eye on that. I saw that earlier. I think you were on Gary's show. I think I saw you put it on there, and I looked and I couldn't find anything. So let me know, John, if you get anything. Democrats are going nuts right now, Dennis. And I've got a few videos here that were not planned for the show, but I've got a chock full of videos for you guys tonight that are, the Democrats are so out of control, it's unreal. But first, I'm going to let you look at this. Let's see, which one am I going to look at first here? Oh, the first one I'm going to let you look at, and you guys probably already seen this one, is about Biden saying he's going to beat Trump today. I want you to take a look at this real quick. It's a real short one.
I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020. Well, guess what? They're trying to push me out of the race. Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race. I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
Okay, what year is this? Is it 2024? What the hell? How many times does it take an idiot liberal to see this kind of shit and to wake up and say, this man is something wrong with him? He's sick. Tammy, are you saying that's some kind of an excuse? They're going to try to throw the pity party vote at him now. He's sick. Got some problem with him. I'm still interested in seeing what's going on. So, but anyways, till we get some more information here, I've got some more stuff here. Biden lies. Now we're going to go, and this is one from Fox News. Let's see if I want to do that one first. Yes, I will. I'll do this one, and Laura Ingram's going to show you some of Biden's lies throughout the past. Then I've got one in the past that I've got to show you too, because I think these are pretty important because of what they say. So take a look at this one. This one's a little long, but it's really important that you guys see this. You already know it, but take a look at this.
So let's get back into the time machine. Let's go back to 1987. Then Senator Joe Biden, he was 44. No signs of dementia, senility then. And for some reason, bragging about how smart he was.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours.
Okay, here are the facts. He got a half scholarship and not a full one. And it was based on financial need, not in his great intellect. He also graduated 76th in a class of 85, not in the top half. All right. The next lie.
30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island.
Soweto, isn't it? Anyway, the Washington Post actually gave Biden 4 Pinocchios on that one and said, there's no evidence to support it. All right, there's another arrest story, though, this time while he was protesting for civil rights.
Because I'm so damn old, I was there as well. Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
All right, the New York Times said there is no evidence that he was ever arrested during a civil rights protest. Well, that has to be it, right? No, there's more. Biden claimed he watched the Pittsburgh Bridge collapse, and with his own eyes.
Pittsburgh is a city of bridges, more bridges in Pittsburgh than any other city in America. I watched that bridge collapse. I got there and saw it collapse.
Didn't happen unless he has owl-like eyesight, because from the pool reports that day, the president had been told of the bridge collapse in Pittsburgh. He wasn't there. Now, I could keep this going all night. Okay, one more.
I used to drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
Oh,
I
yeah?
could.
That's
I
awesome.
got to.
I used to drive a tractor trailer.
Oh, awesome.
And so I know a little bit about driving big trucks.
Now, the White House tried really, really hard to prove that one to be correct, but it turns out the president rode once in an 18-wheeler. So the lies keep coming, and the left keeps allowing them to come unchecked. So I think all of us need to ask ourselves, if he's willing to lie about something as silly as driving an 18-wheeler, what else is he lying to us about?
Hi, Sean. Now, you see all these lies. So he's lying from way back when he was a senator, too. But I'm going to pause this for a second because I've got some information on the medical emergency you're talking about. They say in a shocking development, President Biden is said to be experiencing a medical emergency while aboard Air Force One. The news was reported by Monica Crawley on Twitter, sparking concern and speculation among the public. As details continue to emerge, the situation underscores the importance of transparency and accountability in leadership. The incident serves as a reminder of the demanding nature of the president and the need for a robust health protocol in the positions of power. Stay tuned for more updates as they unfold. So they're not saying anything except for that. And that is the only thing that I could find that they're talking about. And of course, you know they're going to hide it. If they're going to just say it was an allergy or something like that. You know it because they're not going to tell you the truth. But if this man disappears out of the public eye, it's going to be something worse. And we want to know who's running this place. That twit, Campbell Toe Harris? Holy shit, we're in trouble. It's I don't know what we're going to happen. Meatloaf sandwich here. That sounds good too, Kurt. I had pizza. That's not very good. But hey, you never know. All right, guys, we're going to go back to 1988, where Joe Biden was corrected, where it was fact-checked by ABC back then. Take a look at this.
To do. The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
Joseph Biden.
Yeah, you see, he was even fact-checked back then, but he continued to lie for all these years, stating the same thing over and over again. Everybody's fact-checked him. Everybody's proved that he's a liar. He's a habitual liar. So you know he's lying right now. And he gets this whole administration to lie. It's unbelievable. He's been lying his whole damn life. Exactly, Kurt. Nothing humble about this pedo. Exactly, Billy Bob. This is just, they just might murder him if he doesn't resign. These people are going nuts. Fettuccine Alfredo. I love fettuccine Alfredo, Tammy. And, oh my goodness. That's on. And by the way, Tammy won the question of the day for last week's, or this question for on Wednesday. And your cup will be at your house Monday or Tuesday, they said today. So let me know if you get it, Tammy. Thank you for answering the question. And we'll have another question coming up next week. So you guys got to pay attention. You don't know what day it's going to be. But anyways, if you guys hear anything else about that so-called medical emergency, let me know. And as the day or the night progresses, I'll be looking. Hi, Pat. I'll be looking on there while the videos are playing because I've got a ton of them, guys. I'm telling you what, I've almost got I got about 13 more videos to show you guys. This was a packed-filled day that you would not believe. And I've already got lined up stuff for next week that is piling up in my inbox. You guys will not believe the crap that's going on and the people that want Biden the hell out of the office. And we're going to get into some of that, more of that here in a little bit. But I want to see you or see this video. It's a short one too, of yesterday's 4th of July thing. Biden losing his freaking marbles, or has lost his marbles. Take a look at this one.
And by the way, you know, I was in that World War I cemetery in France, and the one that one of our colleagues, the former president, didn't want to go and be up there. I probably shouldn't even say it. Anyway, we got to just remember who the hell we are. We're the United States of America. And there's nothing beyond, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart, there's nothing beyond our capacity, nothing when we do it together.
What the hell was he talking about? He was talking about a past president not wanting to be there and froze. And said, I probably should have said that. And there's people left. What the hell were they laughing at? The man couldn't even think of what he was trying to say, and they're laughing. And then they applaud because he starts screaming. We got to remember who we are. We know we're the United States of America. Why would he be yelling, people? And I know, Dennis, you know this answer. Why the hell would the man be yelling out of no reason? Answer that, Dennis. I'll bet you. I know what he's going to say. But Biden was the first black president. Yeah, he was the first black Jew, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever, and he was raised by them all. This man is an idiot, and I don't wish no harm on anybody. I hope there's nothing serious going on, but the man is sick. The man should be in a rest home. When he blamed, when we talked about him blaming the debate on travel, saying that he shouldn't have traveled around the world so many times. Well, how long does it take somebody to jet lag? I've traveled all over the countries. I've traveled the Caribbeans. I've been to a lot of places. And it doesn't take me a month to kick the jet lag out. If he can't handle this, and we know he can't, he should not be in the position he's in. And the twit Kamala Harris definitely shouldn't be there, because the only reason she's in there is because she's a black woman, or supposed black woman. And now the black women are saying, if you don't pick a white man over her, the hell with you. We're going to kick this party out. Oh, well, because she's definitely not the person to be in as president. And that is who they are pushing into this position. Now some of the donors are putting together trying to get $100 million together to back her. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up, guys. What's going on, Alan? Laura Loomer is on X, the one reporting it, still looking for more. All right, let me know. Joe, yes, he is senile. And I said, the dementia will make you go off like he's been doing. And if you guys look up Parkinson's, you don't always have the shaking. That comes later in the Parkinson's disease. But every sign, symptom of dementia and Parkinson's and everything goes along with this man perfectly. So don't be fooled by these lies that they're telling you that he's okay, because he's not. He is definitely not okay. He had 10 days. 10 days for what, Kurt? Yo, fam. What's up, Lee? Big Mike pretends to be a black woman. Yeah, everybody keeps showing that one when she's dancing and that the hammer keeps coming out like that. You see that? You see that, Billy Bob? when she's dancing and it looked like her hammer's hanging. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But all right. But those are the first 4 videos that I wanted to get out of the way. These come up as the day progressed after I made today's show up. I made today's show up 2 days ago so I could enjoy the 4th. It was so damn hot, barely enjoyed that. But anyways, we're going to get this started off with the Supreme Court immunity really could delay or undermine prosecutions of Trump's other cases. Now, this immunity thing is really kicking the Democrats in the ass. They're freaking out over this. Why? Because they're not letting up on this. And neither is Donald Trump. And I don't blame them a bit. Take a look at this first of many videos that I have for you today, talking about the immunity decision, any effects that's going to have on many of Trump's cases. So take a look at this.
Well, it's a big deal. This ruling shows that Donald Trump is now poised to avoid pre-election trials in 3 of the 4 criminal cases he faces. That means no verdict before November on whether Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election or whether the classified documents Trump had violated national security.
The United States Supreme Court ruling for the first time that former presidents have absolute immunity from prosecution for their official acts and no immunity for unofficial acts. This Supreme Court ruling once again playing a role in the 2024 presidential election because it causes delays that make it unlikely former President Trump would face trial before November.
The lower courts will start to consider what the Supreme Court said and decide which of the former president's acts fall within his official duties and those that do not.
Now, to me, everything should be thrown out because he was president when all this happened. But what cases they brought up against him, like the New York hush money trial, that's not even a crime. So that's one that should be thrown out also. So let's keep moving on because I got a lot to cover for you guys tonight. But John, yeah, you're right. He had 10 days to recover at Camp David, where they were probably pushing him full of drugs like crazy. And that's why his voice was so screwed up, because not long after the debate, if you guys would and I didn't want to listen to it, but I heard him anyways. He was talking after the, whatever that party room is, whatever he was doing. His voice was fine. The next day, his voice was fine when he went and rallied somewhere for 10 people. And then they say that he had a cold. Well, I'm sorry. You just don't get over a cold like in a couple hours. Doesn't happen that way. That man was over medicated. That's why his voice was screwed up. That's why he screwed. Well, that's not why he screwed up the thing. He's just out of his mind. The man shut out, period. No matter what. They are, Lee. The Democrats are running scared because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to win. Because I guarantee they got ballots made up with Biden's name on it. And if he's not there, they can't use him. That's my opinion. But I don't see any other way of them winning. Unless they cheat, they are not going to win. I'm going to redo this here and see if anything else comes back up. Nothing's coming back up yet. Anybody else see Trump had the presidential prerogative to unclassify almost any of the documents he chose? Exactly, Dennis. And I keep saying this, telling these people about this, and you're a liberal. You're not. You're lying. You fascist, racist pig. You, because I tell the truth. I told him the same thing, Dennis, that he declassified everything. Biden stole stuff just to give to his ghostwriter. He stole highly classified information, gave it to his ghostwriter, who has no classification security clearances whatsoever, and he shared it. That is treason. He shared classified information with just anybody because they gave him $8 million for a book. Who the hell wants to see it? Nobody. Jet lag, cold, and his brain. His words. Right. And he had plenty of time. He was out on the beach with no problem. They showed him while he was down at Camp David. No problem there. But all of a sudden now it's jet lag. He's chilling for 10 days, like John said. And Oh, yeah, John said that, right? No, Kurt said that. Kurt said he had 10 days. And everything was fine. But all of a sudden, debate comes. Oh, he got a cold and too much traveling. Get the hell out of here. If you can't handle that, you should never be in a position you're in. Biden never had the prerogative to declassify anything. Exactly. He was stealing stuff from places, and Dan Bongino said this. There's a room in there that no material ever leaves. And the pieces of material that they found on him had to come from this room. And I can't remember the name of the room, but it had to come from there. And it's illegal for anyone to take this material out of there. But Trump's material, and they keep spinning this shit like it wasn't him that had the right to declassify stuff. And he did. But they had the National Archives knew what material he had when he left there. They admitted to that at the beginning, and now everybody's all of a sudden turned around. Stuff disappears off the internet that you can't prove it because they're hiding everything. But they knew what he took. The FBI was at Mar-a-Lago prior to the raid, knew the boxes were there, never took anything. But then all of a sudden now they're going to raid his place with the fake cover sheets that they're putting on the material. If you can't see this was a setup, and for you idiot liberals out there, that's the truth. Check it out, you lazy ass son of bitches. Giving his ghostwriter the info was an unofficial act. Right, but it was all classified information, was totally illegal for Biden to even have, let alone giving it to some new dude or some nobody to have it, plus having the Chinese have access to all the books or all the files that he had at the Penn Biden Center because Hunter Biden gave them keys to get access to the offices where all this shit was at. Then they had stuff stored down in Chinatown. So, but nothing happens to him because why? He's how did they say it? He was a good-meaning old man with a bad memory or something like that. Well-meaning old man or something. He was a demented old fool that was selling his name for money. He's selling the country away. He's been selling it to China, to Russia, to Ukraine, to everybody for money. Not for us at all. But they're not going to take him to court because he's got a bad memory. Sorry, I don't fall for that. But we got some more we're going to be talking about Monday about England. And England is in trouble. They just voted in a Labour party person, and that is more the left. And he's totally against conservatism, and they are in trouble this year. They think they were bad now because of that Muslim guy or whatever it was. They're in for a rude awakening now. They're hurting. Turn cameras off so no one sees it set up. Oh, exactly, Alan. I forgot that. They shut the cameras off so nobody could see what they're doing. They didn't wear body cameras like they're supposed to. Nothing went as protocol. Like Merrick the Pissant Garland says. It was standard procedure to go up there with AK-47s and AR-15s and kick in the doors of Trump's home that was guarded by Secret Service. Standard protocol, that was standard operating procedure. That's bullshit. I was trained like law enforcement. That's not standard operating procedure. They were not in danger whatsoever. Merrick Garland should be in prison. He's the puppet for the deep state. Oh, most definitely. The FBI and the Justice Department are both weaponized to do all the Democrats' bidding. The Wizard of Oz, they were called flying monkeys. Exactly right. Aren't you glad we separated from them in 1776? Yeah, you guys are lucky. Oh my. I feel sorry for the people in Great Britain and England and UK. Yeah, UK. I feel sorry for them. They're going to end up like we are, if not worse, because they don't have the same constitution that we have. So, it's going to be interesting to watch. All right. Now, speaking of the New York judge delays Trump's New York sentencing, so they could watch the high court ruling on an immunity. Now, I brought this up the other day real quick, but I'll mention it again. But they postponed his sentencing till September 8th, only a couple of days after the Republican National Convention, where Trump is set to formally accept the party's nomination for president. So take a look at this video about a New York judge delaying the sentence. So take a look at this.
A New York judge is delaying former President Trump's hush money sentencing.
That decision comes after the Supreme Court ruled on Monday that former presidents have broad immunity from prosecution. Filing a letter on Tuesday, DA Alvin Bragg's office wrote that they are not against Mr. Trump's request to delay the sentence hearing that is scheduled for July 11th, but it could delay a different case from Bragg's office, who charged Trump with 34 felony counts in New York. Trump was found guilty of those charges in May, but his legal team is now trying to toss the conviction out in light of the Supreme Court ruling.
The Supreme Court ruling yesterday talks about the idea that, number one, you have to evaluate all of the prosecutions of a president while they're in office under the new standards, essentially, that they set to ensure that it's not official conduct.
Prosecutors don't believe that Trump's lawyers have any, quote, merit to request one. The earliest Trump could be sentenced is September 18th.
Now, they're going to say anything they want to anyway, so it don't matter. But now we're going to see a lot of this going on because the decision of the Supreme Court is sending it back down to the lower courts to decide what was protected under presidential immunity as the Presidential Act and which was not, which I don't think that's right. So how would the states decide what was in a presidential act? What was covered under presidential immunity? That's not for the states to decide. That is for the federal government to decide. And right, Sean said that, which means Biden can still be prosecuted because there is no immunity for him because he was not president when any of this took place. So that's exactly right. That's what's going to happen, or what should happen. So we'll see what happened with the medical emergency. See what they lie about. He stumped his toe or something. Or then it was said earlier he probably shit himself, and it came out of diaper. Everybody screamed. France did the opposite. Exactly. France did the right thing and got somebody that was conservative in there. They sound vaccinated and boosted. Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen to them too. Sean, we will feed them the wild hogs and gators. Woo, thank you. Yeah, get them gators out there. Now, not only the New York case, Georgia case, Trump's Georgia case with the election case gets more complication after the Supreme Court's immunity decision. The court's ruling will have ramifications for Fulton County District Attorney Miss Piggy herself, Fannie Willis, and her prosecution of Trump and his allies over the election interference allegations. And he's no different than anybody else, that he denied an election results, just like the Democrats do. And this case should have never been brought, no matter what. It's another fake persecution of Donald Trump. Now, like I said, guys, I got a full videos for you. So take a look at this video of what the Supreme Court ruling and how it will affect the cases. Again, another one. Take a look at this.
The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled presidents have immunity when it comes to official acts. 11 Alive's Ariana Maniz with our political team joining us this morning to really break down more about how the High Court's ruling, Ariana, is going to have a potential impact here on Trump's case in Fulton County.
Good morning, Aisha. The Supreme Court's ruling adds more layers of complications and litigation to the Georgia election interference case and nearly eliminates the possibility of former President Trump standing trial before the election. It's a landmark ruling by the Supreme Court. Justices ruling former President Donald Trump may claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some of the actions he took in the waning days of his presidency.
One thing the court clearly wanted to do was weigh in on this carefully, because it's not just a question of where we are today in 2024 is where the country might be in 2050 or 3000 or far into the future.
The 6-3 decision stems from the federal January 6 case against Trump. While justices rule presidents have absolute immunity for their official acts, Chief Justice John Roberts, who authored the historic ruling, also concluded there is no immunity for unofficial acts, and lower courts must decide which acts qualify.
What the court was doing.
Now, this is why Trump won't let it go, and Democrats are scared to death because of this ruling. That's why they won't let it go. They're making stuff up more and more to try to stop their lies from coming out and the corruption and made up charges that they decided to make and falsely indict Trump. Now, Dennis, I heard this too. Dennis says, don't know if it's true, but it's illegals was arrested committing a crime with a gun and said that the government is supplying illegals with firearms to prepare for a violent uprising. Now, Dennis, I heard the same thing, and Billy Bob just said the same thing too. So if we all heard it, and we're all from different areas, that might be something we want to look into. So that'll give me something to do this weekend. Maybe I'll look into that too, because I did hear that a little while ago too, but I just blew it off as to, just talk. But I did see just somebody arrested. I saw today, I think I saw somebody being arrested about a gun charge. It died just quickly and turns to turds. Oh, they also have a full smear campaign because they have nothing. Right, Lee? Because I just saw that too, and I think maybe that's next week too. But they just blew $50 million again on smear campaigns against Trump with Biden's failing campaign. Why would you blow all this money on smear campaigns when he's not going to be there? He is not going to be the nominee, but he's blowing all this money, probably because he can't give that money to somebody else except for Harris. And maybe that's why they're pushing for it or not. I don't know. The administration will unlikely just ignore the SCOTUS's ruling, just like they did with the forgiving college loan ruling, striking it down. But he did it anyways. Exactly right, Dennis. They ignore everything. Remember what's her face? Chewbacca? I can't remember her damn name. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. Exactly what they're doing. They don't give a shit because who's going to do anything about it? Certainly not the Republicans. They've had 4 years to do something and nothing's getting done. Nothing. So who the hell's going to stop them? Right? All right. Now, one of the Trump senior advisors drops a 3-word bomb on you. You guys got to see this because if you ever seen this idiot on Twitter, the little punk deserves this. But he dropped a 3-word bomb on Democrat influencers saying Biden can take out Trump. That little weasel ass piece of shit, Harry Sisson. Likes to run his mouth now. Looks like he stepped in it because now he's going to get a visit from the Secret Service. Well, he should have kept his mouth shut. Take a look at this video of him threatening Trump.
On Monday, the Supreme Court ruled.
Wait a second. Yeah. Okay. But this is part of it. So take a look at this.
On Monday, the Supreme Court ruled Donald Trump immune from criminal prosecution for official acts. A deranged liberal named Harry Sisson took to his Twitter to basically make a threat that prompted a response from the Donald Trump campaign manager. Harry then went on his TikTok to make another response that included an accusation that he would not back down because he can see Donald Trump for what he is, a fraud and a con man and a convicted felon. Harry, I looked at your Twitter and I noticed that you like to tweet a lot about black votes. And I'd just like to point out to you that the National Institute of Health says that 33% of the black male population are convicted felons. George Floyd was also a convicted felon, by the way. So before you go around pandering to the black community more so than Kamala Harris, maybe you should rework some of your pandering, because when you talk about convicted felons, you're talking about the black community.
Now, to me, she sounds pretty serious about him making remarks about black people. What do you guys think? I was so happy not to have to see that punk's face on Twitter, and all of a sudden he had to pop up. Now, I hope this shuts him up from running his mouth for something he doesn't know a goddamn thing about, and I'm sick of hearing it. So I hope the Secret Service does pay him a visit. He deserves it. The little punk ass bitch needs to shut his mouth. All right, let's get back into this now. They are calling it a 2025 agenda from Lee's lies about Trump's plan and nothing but smear campaign. Exactly right, Lee. And thank you, Billy Bob. Maxine Waters is the one that said, "The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them." That was Maxine Waters, and yes, she does need it. Billy Bob. Now, Dennis is giving us guys another prepper principle. Now, Dennis, watch this. I got this opening for this. I got that going. Watch this. That is the don't get dead. What is it? Disaster factor tip of the day. And Dennis is giving you one right now. The situational awareness. Always have your head on a swivel and be aware of what and who are around you. That is our don't get dead disaster factor tip of the day right now. Because it's true. We were taught that at the prison. Because that's why I told you guys a while back, a few episodes ago, that if you go to a hotel or a restaurant or something, know where your exits are. Try to sit facing the door so you can see people coming in and out of the restaurant. Then you know, and look at the exits from where you're sitting, where your closest exit is, so you are aware of what's going on. Even walking down the street, don't let nobody walk within touching distance of you. You have to stop, move off to the side, let them go around you, especially if you're in a big city. Good one there, Dennis. That guy needs to be arrested. Exactly right, Sean. He does. You're not allowed to. That's what we can't even do on here. You cannot threaten people on our shows or anywhere on social media. You cannot threaten people. That is a no-no for anybody. Wipkin, even Rumble, you cannot do it. And anyone to make up a threat towards any POTUS. Right. I don't care if it's Biden or not. You can't do it. They just arrested some guy for threatening to kill Biden. So, or they say they did. They don't prove it because it's not on TV anywhere. They're saying Biden walked off the airplane. Sorry about the misinformation, but I would recommend extra magazines for the Second Amendment. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't mean something didn't go wrong. And they're just not going to say. They're going to hide that stuff. So, moving on here. Now, Democrats' fears are rising as Trump's chances are soaring after the debate and the Supreme Court ruling. Now, Trump's chances of winning and taking back the White House have soared in recent days, pitching Democrats into a stew of panic and despair. This is what caused them to start playing the blame game, hence the title of the show. Like they've been doing since day one. They have been, when they installed this idiot into the White House. Now, I want you to take a look at another video I have for you. And this is from 7 years ago, guys. And this is really important. And I found this, and it was kind of crazy. But I want you to listen to this. And I want you've got to really listen and tell me what it sounds like when you listen to this. Because I think you guys will know it real fast because you guys are smart. So take a look at this and let me know in chat what you guys think about this.
Is there anything that especially sort of you're afraid of that scares you with this president?
Well, there are a great many.
His behavior is erratic. It's discordant. It's incoherent.
Number one is ignorance. I'm afraid of his getting us into a war or something.
He's composed tweets about World War III. He attributes it to other people, but to me that's terrifying that you have a president who is making light of the idea of World War III.
Particularly in the foreign policy arena, where he's done things that really scare me.
He has less respect for the Constitution, less respect for the separation of powers, less respect for the diversity and beauty of America in its diversity, that I worry about what he could do.
He has no concept, as far as I can tell, of democratic norms.
He made the astounding statement that the press is the enemy of the people. That is not something we've ever heard American presidents say. I don't think even Richard Nixon went that far.
If you want to form an authoritarian country, the first thing you do is has bashed the press and destroyed and tried to destroy the legitimacy of the judiciary.
He's essentially assailing the First Amendment. That strikes at the heart of our democracy.
The nationalism is about creating a hierarchical society and then sinking everybody's individuality into militarism and then going to war against other people and stereotyping and vilifying foreigners. And you can see precisely where Steve Bannon wants to go.
Here we go with Russia again.
We have to see what all is involved with Russia right now, and Flynn and all of the unbelievable revelations that are coming out even without the investigation.
Where this comes from is very concerning. Very concerning.
I want to see him behave and speak as someone who has a grasp on the office that he now holds, because so far he hasn't shown that to me.
Okay, guys, you tell me that does not sound exactly what is happening today in the Biden administration. Everything that Biden is doing today is what the Democrats said Trump would do 7 years ago. That's why that video was so important. They said exactly, and none of it was true. Trump, none of that was under Trump. It's all right now under Biden. And we say this every time. Whatever the Democrats blame Republicans, Trump, or us, they are actually doing it themselves. And it's just that goes to prove it. That video proves, because it was from 7 years ago. And what do they do? Exactly what they showed us. Hi, Vic. Madeline, how you doing? Hi, Gary. Gary is from the American Rebellion was here. I jumped in and watched the last part of his show tonight, guys. And he'll be on again tomorrow, probably. I didn't finish it. I had to get off too quick to start mine. But he had an excellent show. Pretty sad stuff going on there. But he always puts on a great show, guys. So check him out, American Rebellion. You'll love his shows. Exactly, Violet. Democrats have been lying, and they're they're leading by example. Joe Biden, Mr. Liar himself, from back in the day when he first got into office, he's been lying since then, and he's never stopped since. And if these idiot liberals would wake up, they would see that. I'm almost listening on my end, messaging with my cousin regarding my sister. I hope she's okay, Tammy. It will never stop. The lies will never stop. And these idiot liberals are too stupid to wake up and see that truth. So I don't know what else to do. But I want to keep going here so I don't keep you guys too late, because I know you've been on all day for other shows and stuff. And some of you guys are probably having to work or something tomorrow. But it's a weekend. Let's move on. Now we're going to get into the heart of the show. Biden's debate blame game continues. Advisor site debunked his mentality for dismissal of the show. The Democrats are playing a blame game, like I said earlier, about everybody else. They're blaming everybody else but themselves, just like they always do. They blame Trump, they blame the administration, they blame us, they blame everybody else, but they never take it. And they always say that they're the most transparent administration out there. They're full of shit. But I want you to take a look at this video that I put together. Just a few things that are they're blaming, the Biden disaster debate viewing stuff. So I want you to take a look at this.
We're told there is a lot of frustration from members of the Biden family directed at the campaign staff who helped prep Biden. One source summarizing the family's feelings as, quote, they did him a disservice. Hey there, Elizabeth. Well, we're just getting this word in from a private fundraiser that President Biden is attending, and he admitted in his remarks there that he did not have a good debate. He said in new comments that he wasn't very smart for traveling around the world a couple of times, he says, before the debate. He added there, quote, "I didn't listen to my staff, and then I almost fell asleep on stage." He says, again, it's not an excuse, but an explanation. So that now it seems as though President Biden is shifting the blame to his world travel for his performance at the debate. This may raise more questions than answers, though, because the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, tried to say that he was sick and that it wasn't a good debate either.
And he knows how to do the job, not because he says it, because his record proves it. Because for 3.5 years, almost 4 years, the president's record has been unprecedented, delivering for the American people.
Need I say more? This is what they do every time they have to cover for Joe Biden, blaming somebody else. Other than Joe Biden's disability and clearly a medical condition, do you need another reason to vote Republican? Because the Democrats lie constantly, and I'm not saying Republicans don't, but they are lying about something that is worse or far worse than keeping somebody a mentally impaired man running this country just to remain in power to keep their money flowing in. But the problem's going to keep going no matter what. The gaffes of Joe Biden are out there, so many of them. And I got another one for you from him reading off a teleprompter. Now, I screw up once in a while, then that's not because it's because I wrote it wrong. But he reads instructions, over a 4-minute rant. I didn't do 4 minutes. I just showed you what it was screwing up here. An immunity decision. And he says, end of quote. You guys got to take a look at this. Watch this.
Sotomayor's dissent today. Here's what she said. She said, in every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. With fear for our democracy, I dissent. End of quote.
That man can't even read. What the hell more do you need? He screws up every time he gets on the TV. Now, I still bet these idiot liberals still watch this. We still know that they're denying that he has any problem with him. Because you know why? Because they've got issues too. They are mental. It's unreal. I mostly listen. Okay. Then it said that there's no waking these liberals up because they're asleep. They're not asleep. They're brain dead. Exactly right. Got ice cream and Depends. He said with ice cream and Depends, that man goes anywhere. Racist card, the only card in their wallet. They want to use racist, fascist. They want to call us every name in the book because they are the racists and the fascists and the idiots. They asked Jill Biden that Joe was wearing for the interview tonight. She said Depends. That's good, Dennis. Biden can't hang. No, the man can't do anything. And I saw a bunch of articles that the whole staff is miserable. They're afraid because the man goes off every time he turns around. They need the money to keep funding child trafficking sick bastards. You're right, Billy Bob. They still haven't found or told us where those 86,000 children are that they trafficked across this country and lost them. You think that would be somebody who would want to know that stuff, don't you think? That would be kind of important, but not with the perverts what we got running this country. Maddie. But that would be something important, but no, nobody wants to see that. So I'm going to skip him. Bernstein from CNN. He was telling, well, no, I'm not going to skip him. I'm going to let you watch this video of Carl Bernstein because he told the truth. And this actually was on CNN. Take a look at this.
Well, these are people, several of them, who are very close to President Biden, who love him, have supported him, have been among them are some people who have raised a lot of money for him. And they are adamant that what we saw the other night, the Joe Biden we saw, is not a one-off, that there have been 15, 20 occasions in the last year and a half when the president has appeared somewhat as he did in that horror show that we witnessed. And what's so significant is the people that this is coming from, and also how many people around the president are aware of such incidents, including some reporters, incidentally, who have witnessed some of them. But here we see tonight, as these people say, President Biden at his absolute best. And yet, these people who have supported him, loved him, campaigned for him, see him often, say that in the last 6 months particularly, there has been a marked incidence of cognitive decline.
Now, you believe this came from CNN? They actually put the truth out for once in their failing, dismal life of the fake news media station that they are. That's the last time you ever hear me give credit to CNN. Now, a USA Today poll showed 41% of Democrats want Joe Biden to quit. Of course they do. Who the hell wouldn't want him to quit? This man is medically not sound to be doing anything as far as running a country. He couldn't even run a lemonade stand right now. And he says the Democrats don't care about the physical and they don't care about his physical or mental condition. All they care about is him as a mere figurehead. And former President Obama is actually running the government. So I'm going to let you watch this video of Ted Cruz talking about this. So take a look at this.
In August of 2024, the Democrat kingmakers jettison Joe Biden and parachute in Michelle Obama. Barack Obama is already running the Biden administration. I think he is already the puppet master. I think the odds of Michelle Obama parachuting in August of 2024 have risen dramatically.
Now, I don't think he's wrong. But like I said, there are so many different scenarios out there. It's unreal about what's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think in chat. Let me know if you guys think, if you have any more different opinions yet. We go over this every night, and I'm just interested to see what you guys think. Oh, so good. I keep looking around here. But Billy Bob, you're right. Where are the kids from the Hawaii wildfires? Where are them? Nobody wants to tell us about that. Yeah, I'm a lying piece of shit. Repeat the line. Applause, applause. Yeah, somebody should put that in there. Somebody should hack the teleprompter and do that and see if that man reads that shit. Oh yeah, Lee, you're right. And I just caught part of that. But even Disney, and I think that's coming up next week, is withholding funds from Biden now because of the debate. There is so many big money donors want him out of there. That's going to get him out of there. But the Democrats don't know what to do. Their plan is for Biden to be in there to cheat. You watch what happens. Mark my word, guys. Flag that. That's like Dan Bongino says. Flag it, because that's what's going to happen. Then it says a college professor had broached the subject of Biden replacing Harris with Barack Obama. Said there's no constitutional law preventing it. Oh, no, but he could be a vice president, right, Dennis? Because he was a president doesn't mean he can't be a vice president. So that could happen. But can they put him as the president if they invoke the 25th on him, though, Dennis? I'm not sure about that. He keeps saying he won't run. Yeah, I know, but that's always a smear. You know, I lied to Tammy. They always say that, and then all of a sudden, boom, there she is. Whatever it is. Vic says, I think it's the whore with the Jared. I'm not sure who it's going to be. I'm not ever voting for a tranny with POTUS that has mental disorder. No, Sean, not at all. I think a homo is a puppet too, and they're done with him. No way they're letting Big Mike in. I hope to God they don't, Lee. That's for sure. It's sad how our country's got taken over by these psycho pedophiles. It is, Kurt. Most definitely. Because you have never seen the kind of disgusting display that we've seen in our streets because of these pervert people running around naked thinking it's being gay to run around naked on the street, talking to little kids about sexual preferences and bullshit. We could get into that. We could run a whole show on that one, Kurt. As calls grow for Biden to drop out, new polls show Michelle Obama would beat Trump. That's another lie. That's USA Today. Yeah, they're a liberal site. Michelle Obama would not beat him. And because of the racist bullshit, she was part of that racist bullshit that started when Obama was in office. And I voted for Obama the first time. The first time. That's when I started voting for Republicans. The second time. Rowdy in the house. I don't see Rowdy on here. Where you at, Rowdy? I don't see it. I'm going to move on, guys. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I've only got a couple more things here to show you. So I'm going to get moving. And it's getting worse. The cracks are widening. The Democrats supported Biden as debate raises over fitness to office. Now, how the cracks in the previously widespread Democratic Party support for Biden has begun widening recently over concerns about the president's fitness in our office following a disastrous debate. Now, I'm going to let you watch this video. It's easier for them to tell you about this stuff than me. So the leaders are concerned about Biden, and they want you to take a look at this.
This morning, more Democrats are questioning whether President Biden needs to be replaced at the top of the ticket after his debate performance last week. ABC's M. Wen also has this report.
This morning, more top Democrats are openly voicing concern about President Biden's future as the party's nominee.
I think, like a lot of people, I was pretty horrified.
Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse now seeking reassurances that the Biden campaign is being forthcoming about the president's mental acuity.
I think people want to make sure that this is a campaign that's ready to go and win, that the president and his team are being candid with us about his condition, that this was a real anomaly and not just the way he is these days.
Oh, the debate performance was rough. It was a very bad night for the president. But he is still the candidate. Only he can make decisions about his future candidacy.
First Lady Jill Biden, speaking to Vogue magazine about the debate, said they will not let those 90 minutes define the 4 years he's been president. We will continue to fight, adding that President Biden will always do what's best for the country. The campaign trying to shut down any talk of the president dropping out, saying that would lead to chaos. The campaign also sharing internal poll numbers with donors, claiming to show the president's favorability ratings in battleground states unchanged after the debate.
M. Wen, ABC News, Washington.
The White House has said the president will be out in public more and will give more interviews this summer. Now, despite this, Biden did not take questions after his speech last night.
And we're going to see this every day. Probably by the weekend, we'll have a hell of a lot more people on the Democrat side wanting Biden out. You know, something's going to happen. They don't have too much time left to what they want to do. But they did see, if you guys were watching, he did do an interview today with ABC News. It was edited to the hills. And you guys can tell if you just watch it. And I only watched part of it, and I watched about 10 minutes of it. And you can see the editing through the whole thing, and the editing was. I'm not that good at editing my shit, but they should be. They're professionals, and I could tell that they edited because his answers weren't following up with the questions very well. So they edited it to make him look better than what he is. Right, Dennis? I'm not sure either. I think that the Democrats are still contemplating whether gaslighting the American people is worth their effort. That's exactly right, Dennis. Lee thinks that they're going to go with camel toe and gruesome. That's a very good possibility. So that's what we're going to have to keep an eye on. They're going to throw this man under the bus. I guarantee it. We're screwed, well screwed because of the ballots printed with Biden. I guarantee it, Alan. I guarantee that they've got ballots made up. And that's why they're pushing so hard to keep him in. But the donors are the people that runs those campaigns. If they don't have the money and they just spent $50 million on bullshit lies for smear campaigns, that doesn't work that way. So they're kind of screwed. So something's going to happen here, and it's happened here soon. Now, the first elected Democrat calls on Biden to drop out of the race. He said Biden failed in the debate. Democrat Representative Lloyd Doggett of Texas. And Sean, you guys should know him. You guys from Texas, Tina or Tammy, you all should know that. Democrat Representative, he became the first elected Democrat to publicly call President on Biden and has become the first to step down. Now, I've got another video here, and this should be the last one of the day, I think, of them talking about this. Take a look at this real quick.
The first Democratic lawmaker is publicly calling for President Biden to drop out of the presidential race. Congressman Lloyd Doggett of Texas said Biden's debate performance failed to effectively defend the administration's many accomplishments. In a statement, he also said, quote, unlike Trump, President Biden's first commitment has always been to our country, not himself. I am hopeful that he will make the painful and difficult decision to withdraw.
Now, but of course, he had to say something negative about Trump. They have to every time they're around, just because of the worthless piece of shit that they have installed into the White House. I don't think we're going to see this thing getting any better. I think it's just going to keep getting worse. More and more Democrats are going to want him out as soon as possible, and they rightfully so. But the last thing on my agenda, but no video on this one. Sorry, guys, I ran out of videos. But I know you're upset about that. But Joe Biden might be asked by 25 House Democrats to step down. Dozens of the House Democrats are reportedly considering issuing a public demand that Joe Biden drop out of the 2024 race. But only one Democrat had the balls enough, and that was Doggett, to show up and actually say it. But however, the 25 House members on Tuesday were preparing to call Biden to step aside if it seems shaky and come in the coming days, which he still is, according to Reuters report, based on the comments of of course, of another anonymous Democrat House aide saying, what about the past 4 years? You know, he's been shaky. They're saying one day of being shaky. No, he's been shaky since day one. Typical Democrat move, trying to cover their asses. That's all this is about, is keeping the power and the money. That's all this is about. Oh, yeah, I got one I'll be talking about Monday, guys, about camel toe is way below, cannot beat Trump. And that's a new poll that came out. I've got a slew of stuff, guys, and I hope you stick with me and join me on Monday. And ask your friends and stuff to join in. We got to get a bunch of people in here. November's coming up so fast that we've got to get these people awake. We've got to get the truth out to more people. That's why I'm doing this stuff, because you guys make me want to do this, because we got to get the truth out to people. And this is the only way I can do my part on it and get the truth out to people and get all this and because you're not going to see it on TV. That's why people are cutting the cord. If they are pretty certain that they can cheat enough to win the election, they might just leave Joe in and worry about replacing him later. That's exactly right, Dennis. I said the same thing. They might just keep him in there if his health holds out to keep him in there, because I don't know. That man looked like he could fall out in a minute. So somebody will probably leak the truth, whatever happened on Air Force One tonight. The truth will break out. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. That's all the time we have for tonight. I want to thank you again for joining me in chat and helping me make this show the best show out there right now. You guys got to know that. Share it with everybody. Get that out there. This is the show that you'll get the truth from. We don't mix words here. We get the truth out to you again. Check out my Rumble page for me, the Country Conservative. I'm on Twitter under Country Conservative. Wimpkin is the most important one we got going right now. Under Country Conservative also. Check out Wimpkin. Download the app. WIMKIN. Download it. Check out my thing. You'll check out everybody else's. All the wonderful people that joined us in chat here tonight. You know, help me make this show great with their comments and stuff. And we put some different stuff out there. Get everybody's opinion. That's what we're here to do. Get everybody's voices out there to get the truth out to people. So help me out. Share my videos. Give me that thumbs up. Like my videos. All that stuff. Follow me on Rumble, because I need more people on there. It's been picking up since I got on the Wimpkin. Everybody go over there. Open a Rumble app. Follow me on there. Help me out, guys, okay? Now, this is why we're on here. You know, we got to get the truth out. So I want to thank you again for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And with that being said, I'll leave you with this. As we wrap up this evening, remember that our shared commitment to liberty transcends party lines. Let us continue to engage in thoughtful dialogue, seek common ground, and uphold the principles that make America exceptional. Thank you for joining me. And until Monday, stay informed, stay engaged, and may the flame of freedom burn brightly in your hearts. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday night. The Democrats or elites are worried about the next day in deep trouble. Yes, they are, Madeline. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks to all you deplorable patriots. Billy Bob, you're right. I'll see you guys. And I'll have a hell of a show for you Monday night. See you then.